Howdy folks, my name's Kevin, and welcome to my kitchen. This is where I live, this is my house. And yeah, welcome. I'm going to cook a little meal, and I'm going to demonstrate how it's done. And the first step I always believe is washing your hands, so I'm going to start with that. Just a little bit about me, I'm 33, I live alone, I have 2 kids, an 11-year-old daughter named Kaylee, and a 2-year-old son named Robert. And I have Robert about half the week, roughly, between Sunday morning I get him until Tuesday evening. His mom picks him up. And my daughter I have every other weekend, and most of the summers, and most of the days that she has off from school for more than 2 consecutive days. They're kind of picky eaters. My son will not eat any beef products unless I make them for him. Meaning that he doesn't like burgers, he doesn't like steaks, he's pretty picky about that. So I'm going to show you how my kids like me to make steaks, and how I like to make steaks, and this is it. So what we do is we take some ribeyes, and we're going to marinate them. Alright? I'm going to do one of them tonight, because one of them is a meal for me. What I like to do is I like to rub them in butter, to get the butter nice and soft, and then I sprinkle on garlic. And then I really, some people call it cheat, some people call it cheating, but the steakhouse seasoning goes right on the outside, makes a nice crust, and then I of course have to drizzle a little bit of A1 on them. So here's the next step. We're going to go ahead and take a pan, nice grill pan. I like the grill pan, they're nice, they put grill marks on the steak. Some people aren't really particular about it. If you don't really care, you don't really care, but it adds an aesthetic value that most people, when they think steak, they perceive it. So this helps. I'm going to go ahead and heat this up for a little bit and get that really hot. I probably should have done that before I started this video, because I want to make a 9... So what do I do? Do I restart the video? Because it's going to take me at least 5 minutes to heat up the pan. Or just keep going and do my BS for the time that I got? It really is an interesting question, because I don't know if you're going to want to view through this or not. Probably not. Anyway, we're going to view through it anyway, because I got nothing but time on my hand. So, what I like to do is I like to give this a minute. When this gets really hot, like really hot to where like I can't even tap my hand up against it, then I like to throw some butter in. Alright? What we're trying to do is we're trying to get the pan really hot, to where when you throw the steak in, it sears it and it locks in all the juice. So basically, there's stuff in here that most people call essence, which is blood. It's blood, it's lymph, it's things that are part of every organic being that has a central nervous system other than I don't know, Venus flytrap maybe, but I mean, anything that has a heartbeat, a brain, liver, kidneys, you know, things like that, it's going to have blood running through its body, and when you cut it up, it's going to leak out. Some people call it gross. I personally couldn't give any less of a crap. It's delicious. We all have time on this earth. We're going to eat meat. I mean, you have your personal views, you have your personal views. I respect them, but as far as I'm concerned, this is my house. I'm cooking some damn steaks. So, without any further ado, I think that this might be... Woo! That's hot. Okay. Whew! we're getting somewhere here. Let's get a piece of butter. It's gonna be like absurd, because keep in mind the steak is rubbed in butter already. That is probably a little too much. Whatever, it's already cut. So now what we're gonna do is we're just gonna go ahead and get the pan nice and wet. All right. Butter's gonna burn. It's gonna melt and start sizzling pretty quick. It's not a problem. But again, what we're trying to do is we're trying to get this pan really hot. All right. In a perfect world, I wouldn't care about how long it takes to clean it. I wouldn't be using a Teflon skillet. I'd be using a regular, you know, steel-coated, well, not steel-coated, but steel pot and panware. And that way, I can really get it hot and not have to worry about this Teflon coating melting and putting what's called phosgene in the air, which I can tell you, is a gas. It's a byproduct of Teflon burning, and it is commonly mistaken for mustard gas because it has a similar effect, and it also was something that they used in World War I to kill people. So we have this steak, and it is perfectly rubbed down with A1, a little bit of butter. All right, as you can see, hope you can admire that in the light. And now the butter on the pan is getting to where it's bubbly, but it's not bubbling anymore. It's frothed. It looks almost like an egg white that's been on the stove that's cooking a little bit. And what we're gonna do is we're just gonna lay this thing right down in it and let it sear. All right, and I hope that we can hear that. Should I cook the second one? Screw it. I don't feel like cleaning my pan again. I cooked one last night for dinner. I did the same thing, so I practiced this already. And I'm just gonna throw it in there. I put a lot of butter in there. It's gonna be worth it. Oh, good grief! That smells so good, right off the bat. Oh yeah. The other thing that I forgot to tell you: always got to rub the steak down with garlic powder. Garlic powder. I don't use salt. I use salted butter. I use garlic powder. I don't use pepper. I use the steak seasoning mix. Believe me, the salted butter, the garlic powder, the steak seasoning mix, it's going to give you enough of a taste, of a robust taste, to where it's going to be a little sweet, but salty sweet. And it's going to be very savory between the A1 and the butter. All right? So, that being said, you really don't have to screw around with it too much. I never really add powdered salt or like crushed salt granulated, or even, you know, out of my shaker. I don't mess around with it. All right, this is gonna give us a second to get rid of all of this. Now, what I was saying about the essence, all right, the blood and the lymph inside of the steak. This is what's really important. All right, that's the essence. It's gonna give you a really, really flavorful taste. And by cooking it slowly, or cooking it medium well or well, what you're going to do is you're really draining more of that out. Because it cooks, it evaporates out, and by getting the pan really ridiculously hot and then throwing the steak in and letting it sear, I'll show you in a moment what it does. It's almost like in the scene in a movie, or like in Star Wars. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. And in Star Wars, there's only one lightsaber cut that ever produced blood, and it was in the first one. In later ones, they recognize that when someone gets like cut, it would be so hot that it would burn their skin and it would sear it. It's the same thing as like when you cut off a limb and you have to take a flat iron to it, or the head of an axe on a fire and burn it and sear in the blood from going out and the person dying. What we're doing here is kind of like that, only it's post-mortem. We're taking the steak and we're searing it. Oh my Christ. Wait till you see this. Hold on. We're searing in one side of it. Alright? To where none of those juices are going to go out. And you see how it's like red halfway through? Just wait. Just wait. I got these bones on the inside, I guess. It looks like that. No, I got both bones towards me. I don't know if that does anything different or not. We'll see by the one that's got the bone on the inside versus the one that's got the bone on the outside. In my experience, the bone side cooks less because the bone absorbs the heat. And here's the thing. We've got these on for about 4 minutes now, I think. I'm pretty sure. Look at the timer at the top of the video screen that I'm making, and we're right around 9 minutes, which is the total length that I wanted the video to be. I wanted it to be under 10 minutes, but whatever. It'll be a little bit over. We had to heat the pan up first. But what I really want to do is I want to let this on for like 5 minutes on the first side and then 4 minutes on the other side. It's just a really easy rule. If you get this pan really hot to where it's uncomfortable, it'll melt the butter, it makes it look the way that I showed you, and then you throw it a steak right on, it'll sear it and it'll cook it through enough to where it'll be medium rare. It'll be cooked throughout, but it'll still be pink reddish on the inside. And to me, I honestly like that. Again, I'm really not shy about the whole eating meat thing. I get it that some people are, I'm not. Next step in this process, making another drink. That's cool. I get to show you guys what I'm drinking tonight. Let me get plate down. Except this fork that I'm moving these steaks around with. Oh, before I do that, I don't want this to overcook. Look at that. Look at that. Let's look at the one we haven't looked at yet. Let's inspect it. Woo-wee! Man! Man, you'll be proud of me now. Alright, so we got about 4 minutes from now. I love these, my daughter got me these. I absolutely love them. Pretty big Star Wars fan. Millennium Falcon ice cubes. Check this out. Look at the other side of it. X-Wings. Love it. Gotta refill this in a second. This stuff's amazing. Kids love it, and it's good to mix with my vodka too. Hey now. Yeah, about half the time of the week, I'm alone. It's a really weird setup for me, I guess, because I'm constantly jumping from one norm to another. I'd rather have my kids all the time, but I don't know. It gives me a little bit of time to myself, a little bit of time to regroup, take care of my work for work, you know, my day job, and take care of my house at the same time. Good drink. Alright, this goes in the recycling. Very important to always recycle. We've got 2 minutes left on that steak. And I just threw my bag of steam fresh mixed vegetables in the microwave for 5.5 minutes. We've got about 4.5 minutes left on it, so I don't think we're going to be coming out at the same exact time precisely. But it's going to be roundabouts. And while we're doing this, I have 1 minute left. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take a knife. I like to cut it. I really, and it's, you don't have to use one like this, but I just prefer it. Everyone has their own opinions of things. This one happens to be mine. But it also is one of the sharpest knives I own. And I was going to use it for like hunting, but it has no tang on it. So it's a big sharp knife that isn't good for actual knifing with a knife that's about the size of a small sword. And otherwise, I just wouldn't have any use for it. But I find that it has an amazing approximation of how to work for me as a carving knife. Now look at that. Look at that. We're going to put that straight down here on that. We're going to let this sit for a minute. So check this out. Got inside of my dishwasher all cleany. My cutting board. So we're going to set this down. I'm going to move the camera. You're going to be focused a little bit more on my belly than previously. That's okay. So, take this one right here. Start with this one. Look at that. First thing we do, at least when I'm prepping it for my kids, I always like to take the fat off of the back and the bone off of it as well. So, here we go. Fat. Now, mind you, it's not the most important thing to get all of the fat. Alright, I just like to do it because I have cholesterol problems in my family, and it's important, I guess, for me to eat protein. I mean, it's not an I guess moment, it's something that I know. But at the same time, I'm trying to lower my fat intake because my dad had a stroke in his early 60s due to clogged arteries, and my grandfather had a stroke in his early 60s due to clogged arteries. And then on my mother's side, my grandfather died, I believe, of complications of a stroke. My grandmother died, something that had nothing to do with a stroke, but she had high blood pressure. And I had a couple of great aunts and uncles who had strokes as well. So there you go. I got a good bit of the fat off of it. I'm alright with just this little bit. Maybe I'm not. I don't like eating this crap, man. That's part of the animal that if I was living 120 years ago, I might need to eat to survive, or maybe not even that long ago. But 2018, we don't need to eat that fat in North America to survive, not unless you're in Canada somewhere and you're homeless. I mean, I work outside, but I got enough fat on me already. I'm not trying to eat that stuff. I understand the importance of keeping warm in the winter, but alright, now look at this. This is the great part about having that grill pan. I have been really rough with this steak, alright? I've been doing everything that you would do while you were eating the steak, typically. Alright, the nitty gritty. And then I know there's one left. Yeah, but I've been doing all this stuff to the steak, alright? To debone it, defat it. Honey, chill out! I swear, I got dogs, and the little one always barks. But even that withstanding, look at how nice that still looks. Still has grill marks going down the side. I'll take this off. I know there's a bone lingering somewhere in here. I think it's in here. It does not feel like it. Maybe there is not. Nope. I don't know. But yeah, look. You can see where there's some meat in here. I'll wait to eat that. I'll show you me eating it. I'll give you the satisfaction. But look at this. Look at all this fat. There's no meat on there. There's no meat. If there is, it's like gray. It's like fatty meat. Then look at the other side. It's nothing but fat. See, I take that out. It leaves you this much steak to really go to ham with. Give me a second. Let me wipe my fingers down. Yeah. I love cooking steak. I love cooking it for my kids. But even more than that, I love eating it. This has such a savory taste to it. Succulent. Sweet from the A1. But bold and dark. From the oil of the steak and the butter. And that flavor I added with that I'm gonna go eat some steak. Alright, hold on. I gotta show some more of this. I want to eat this fat on the back of this. Oh my god, look at how good. I'm gonna eat this meat. Let me eat it. Look at that. Son of a gun. It's not gonna make it to my dinner plate. I'm being a glutton. But if you've been sticking around this entire time, you know exactly how long this video is taking to shoot. So that being said, I'm hungry. It's about 7:30 at night too. I went to work. Something like what time was it? 6:45. I was out the door. I only work down the street, but then I have to drive all around town because I'm an HVAC technician. I was up in Westchester today a lot. God, look at that. I swear. It's a really good rule, man. 1-inch thick steak. 5 minutes on the first side. 4 minutes on the last side.